On the occasion of the 60th anniversary of the work of the United Nations in the area of public administration and development, it is my great pleasure as Secretary General of the International Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions, INTOSAI, to forward my best regards to the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, UNDESA. 40 years of cooperation between the United Nations and INTOSAI has significantly advanced the role of supreme audit institutions, government and civil society in strengthening public accountability. INTOSAI regards its position as an international organization enjoying consultative status with the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations as a particular distinction. At the same time, it takes the resultant commitments very seriously. INTOSAI has an interest in strengthening future cooperation with the United Nations in order to be able to support the Millennium Development Goals adopted by the United Nations, and is prepared to contribute as much as it can towards reaching these goals. Undoubtedly, INTOSAI and the United Nations are staunch advocates of a close exchange of experience and best practice when it comes to innovation in the public administration and strengthening government, audit as a contribution to social and economic development. Importantly, the United Nations has specifically acknowledged activities carried out by the Supreme Audit Institutions, or SAIs, so far with a view to strengthening the trust of parliaments, governments, citizens, and civil society in the independence, objectiveness, quality, efficiency and effectiveness of government audit, and hence national stability, economic growth and good governance, and the fight against corruption. Consistent with this motto of mutual experience benefits all, INTOSAI must support each and every member in this process and engage in a joint effort towards achieving and strengthening independence. Cooperation with the Division for Public Administration and Development Management of the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, in particular through institutional capacity building, is one contributory factor. INTOSAI and UNDESA share a common history of 19 interregional events such as seminars and symposiums on topics of current interest for government audit. In this context, it was encouraging to note that the United Nations showed interest in setting up a joint platform in order to discuss shared concerns and to realize cooperation projects arising from this dialogue. The newly created joint UN-INTOSAI platform for public accountability was unanimously agreed upon at the 19th INTOSAI Congress. The examples of past cooperation between INTOSAI and the United Nations have charted a possible course for stronger cooperation in the future. This is also consistent with INTOSAI's strategic plan, which provides for institutional capacity building of SAIs, goal number 2 of INTOSAI, particularly of supreme audit institutions in countries in transition and developing countries. The operative objectives under this strategic goal number 2 of INTOSAI are identical with those identified by the United Nations, namely promoting good governance and preventing corruption. I am convinced that all stakeholders, including civil society organizations, media and the private sector, will be able to profit from the cooperation through the joint UN-INTOSAI platform for public accountability, which will be chaired by the Supreme Audit Institution of Korea. Representing INTOSAI, I should like to congratulate United Nations for 60 years of successful work in the area of public administration and development, and I'm looking forward to further fruitful cooperation.